do, leading up to these final laps here to see what he has to achieve, going up to this final flag lap that'll be coming and not too far.
Little less than those 22 laps to go now as they move out of turn 2 and on the back straightaway. Waltrip in front. Petty is second. It's just those two, really. But Donnie Allison, should anything untoward happen up front, is ready to leap in and still grab this race.
And stranger things have happened. We've had a year of great drama in the NASCAR series with last lap accidents and great troubles. And therefore, Donnie Allison at this point, even though he is a little bit far back in this racetrack, is certainly not out of the picture.
Donnie Allison, as we say, started on the pole. Darrell Waltrip started on the outside of the first row. He had the second fastest qualifying speed. Richard Petty started in the third row. He was sixth fastest of all the cars who qualified here. But they're 1, 2, 3 right now. Waltrip the leader, the Tennessean, and the North Carolinian there in second place, and the Alabamian in third place.
Well, a lot of people have come to see this kind of motor racing. Look how close it is. All of the people in the grandstand right now, not one of them in their seat. They're all standing, and it's a record crowd that they've got here, they say, in Darlington. They've got, say, more than 65,000 people. This year, they've had record crowds at all of these NASCAR races. It's tremendous racing, always close, and this year, with so many winners, it's really been exciting.
That's a record for the Rebel race, of course. For the Southern 500 in the fall, they get even more. Green flag racing, and less than 20 laps to go now as they cross the start-finish line. Under 20, Waltrip and Petty, the 32-year-old, the 41-year-old. It's been a long, long afternoon. Remember, this race started about 9 minutes to 2 Eastern Standard Time. Now coming up towards 6 o'clock. So they've been 4 hours out on that racetrack, and that is a long, long time. For much of the race, it was quite hot, cooling down a little bit now, but still in the car, probably up somewhere around 100 degrees. The race goes on, and we'll be back. Taking the lead from Darrell Waltrip. But there is Darrell setting him up again. We could have another change in the lead very shortly. We have less than 16 laps to go in this race. Richard Petty, the king of the stock car racers, just set up Darrell. He took a look at him about 5 or 6 times and finally made his move and passed him. And there is Waltrip again. We could have that change in the lead, literally side by side. The old saying down here, toe handle to toe handle. And that's it. Classic stock car racing in Darlington. But Richard holds him up.
What a move right there.
This was the pass. We're on videotape now. This was about 2 minutes ago while we were away. This was when Richard Petty was setting up Darrell Waltrip, moving alongside just as Darrell did to him here, live a moment ago. But in this case, Richard did get past. That was on tape. Remember, that was just a couple of minutes ago. But now we're back live, and this is Richard Petty still where he has been since passing Waltrip. Well, less than 15 laps to go on this 1.366-mile race course. Total laps of the race, 367, and they've gone 353 now. Less than 14 to go, Jackie.
Well, I don't know what's going through the heads of those drivers right now. Richard Petty's car has been very slippery off of turn 4. It's been unstable, just coming off of the 4th corner, and that's the corner that he's got to be absolutely sure about when he goes down to that final rush towards the finishing line. Darrell Waltrip's car has been faster going into turn 3, and that's an important place because that's where he would slip past Richard Petty if he had to do it on the famous last lap dash. It's going to be one of the classic finishes. Darlington, somehow or other, Jim, always comes up.
One way or another before it's over. That's right.
It's amazing.
Let me ask you this. If you had your choice right now, which car would you be in?
I would be in the car of Darrell Waltrip.
Why?
I think it's been the fastest car all the way through. I think it's the more sure-footed on the racetrack right now. I think Richard Petty's driving right up at 9/10 or 10/10, right at the limit of his car and right at the limit of Richard Petty. I think Darrell Waltrip's just got a little bit in hand in that motor car. It just looks that little bit more stable all the way around the racetrack, and I like his ability to be able to go into turn 3 that little bit faster.
What, however, do you think might be going through the canny mind of the master strategist, Richard Petty?
I think right now he recognizes that he's got a driver of tremendous talent right up his backside, and look at him, how close he is there. He really was close. And And these slower cars, Jim, this is one of the things that Petty could use. If he were to have the good fortune to have the odd car close to him on that final lap, I think he could play the traffic well to his advantage because Petty is so experienced. But right now, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a pass. Look, I think he's going to do it.
He's sure going to try it. Darrell Waltrip moving alongside Petty. Again, door handle to door handle. This time he gets the nose in front. And this time he's done it. Richard getting loose, but getting control of the car.
Richard had to back off there because Darrell Waltrip had gone high on that racetrack, and it was so easy there. If a driver of lesser experience or perhaps even more stubborn a mind than Richard Petty would probably have collided at that point with Darrell Waltrip. Now there's the youth and exuberance of a younger driver against the sheer talent and experience of an older driver, because Petty certainly backed off and let him go through. Richard Petty certainly isn't going to give up. He never does. But he certainly backed off there and avoided an accident, Jim.
Okay, so what tactics may be going through his mind now that suddenly he's in second place? He's in the slingshot position now.
Yeah, but he has to be able to do it down the back.
Oh,
and there's a car.
Somebody lost a tire on the straightaway, the home straightaway, and if that has not brought out the yellow as yet, but there's a tire lying right in the middle of the home straight. Now the yellow is out. The yellow is out with 9 laps left to go. Somebody almost hit that tire.
Yep, and there's
the car that dropped it.
Now, this is one of the good things about NASCAR. There's the tire sitting in the middle of that racetrack. This car is driving around the racetrack without that front tire on. Sparks flying out of it. It's gone into the back of the... And Richard Petty just avoiding the tire right now, and he nearly got loose. Richard Petty nearly hit another car there in that front stretch because nobody's been able to go out and collect that tire yet. The cars are getting slowed down. No official wants to take that risk of going out there where these cars are still passing there at well over 100 miles an hour. A difficult thing to see from a driver's point of view against the black racetrack.
Right.
And I think some of these drivers may not have seen that tire during that little last shuffle there.
The question, though, is can they clean things up in time to get a final green lap or two before the finish of this race? The tire is still lying there. Whether there's other debris on the track or not, we don't know. The car was sliding along. It was Butch Hartman, I believe, in car number 75. Let's take a break and come back. We'd like to alert our stations around the country. We will be running over until the conclusion of the race. Now, there are only 7 laps to go, just a hair under 7 laps in the race. ABC's World News tonight is scheduled to come on at 6 o'clock Eastern Time over most of these ABC stations. It will come on immediately following the conclusion of the race, so stay tuned for the news of the world also. There is Butch Hartman's car, number 75, and there goes the tire.
And he had his hand in the air there. He knew there was something wrong. He put his hand out of the driver's window high for the other drivers to see it, and there the sparks were flying. No fire. One of the great safety factors of NASCAR. They have isolated fuel tanks. There was no risk of a fire there because of the precautions taken by NASCAR here. Tremendously safe motor cars. And, of course, we're under the yellow. The pace car is out.
Yes, but the pace car is coming off.
And they're going to go green, yeah.
Yep, we're going to get the green right now with 5 laps to go. There'll be 5 laps to go when they hit the start-finish line. What a sensational finish this should be. Darrell Waltrip out in front. Richard Petty second. Donnie Allison third. There they go, into turn 1. The white car with green is Waltrip, then Richard Petty. And now Donnie Allison is right behind them again. Remember, he was able to close up under the yellow, but immediately he seems to be dropping back a little. Just doesn't seem to have the speed of those other 2 cars.
Already, Richard Petty has caught up a few yards there, and Darrell Waltrip as they go into turn 3. Richard Petty lost a little bit on the start there, but look how close he is there. He's going under him. It seems to... Oh, car number 88 certainly got high in the racetrack.
Unbelievable.
Really high in the racetrack.
He's got him.
He's got him. Something went wrong here. It seems very strange that Darrell Waltrip's car behaved very strangely there. It seemed that he went high, and there Donnie Allison's got back into this fight again because these 2 front cars lost a little bit of time there in that last corner. It seems now that Donnie Allison got up a little bit closer to them, but now King Richard is in the lead.
Donnie Allison has certainly driven as patient and as capable a race as you could expect today. Hanging in there in 3rd place behind the other 2 cars, which obviously seem to be faster than he is today, although he sat on the pole. That was qualifying, and that's a different situation from the race. Here comes Waltrip again, going down low, trying to retake the lead from Petty, and as he go into turn 1, he's got it again.
That man has the fastest car on this racetrack. I'd have to...
Here comes Richard.
And Richard, again, getting low. It seems to me that Darrell Waltrip's car is not handling so well going out of these corners, and they're going down side by side going into turn 3. Richard Petty takes the lead again. The crowd on their feet, and Darrell Waltrip goes underneath of Richard Petty. I've never seen such a good close race as this. And look how close they are. They've touched.
Look at the crowd waving and shouting. They've never seen anything better than this, and Donnie Allison down low is into it now. He has somehow caught up with the others, although they had no traffic or anything. Maybe he had just a little something he was saving.
The two front cars certainly were slowing up there because of them being side by side. Donnie Allison was using up the road there very comfortably, catching them as they sort of hooked up on each other, had to back off a little bit here and there. Donnie Allison got the draft and got involved there. But look at them now, they almost touched there, once again coming through turn 4.
Any one of these three cars could still win the race. As the white flag comes out, one left to go in the Rebel 500, and there goes Darrell Waltrip for the lead. Donnie Allison still hanging behind Richard Petty. Petty now coming down low. Again, they're side by side. Well, you can see it happening right before you. They're coming to turn 3. 2 more turns to go. Richard Petty still side by side. Donnie Allison still hanging in third. Oh! Petty has got to leave it. There comes Waltrip down below him as Petty stood up high. Donnie Allison trying to move past Petty into second place. They're coming to the finish line. It is Darrell Waltrip winning the Rebel 500. Petty is second, and Donnie Allison is third by about 3 feet. Jackie, what a motor race.
What a race. I can't remember ever seeing the end of a motor race, Jim, being as exciting as that. Never have I seen a finish with so many passes in such a short track in such a short time.
With 500 miles behind them, there were a dozen feet between the three when it all was over. Darrell Waltrip of Franklin, Tennessee, has won his second race of this NASCAR season. He won the first one, the Western 500, out in California. Now he's won this one. He already was the leading money winner of the year, so obviously he will continue to have that position. He also, I believe, will take over the season point lead from Bobby Allison. It's Darrell Waltrip, the winner. Jim McKay with Jackie Stewart saying so long from Darlington as we watch the winner come into his pit. Darrell Waltrip, Jackie, it's been good to be with you, and what a racing season we have coming up. Indianapolis not far off, and so many other things in the offing. It's all been live from Darlington. It's not raining, and we're gone.